Hey everyone, it is Tuesday, 5 p.m. So you know what that means? It's Ask a Headhunter Live with Tom and the team. We already got 3 people joined, Joe, Steve, and Zach, and we have Brent on the call. We're going to join him now. So let's get started with Ask a Headhunter Live. And since Joe is on my list as first, Joe, do you have any questions? And if not, we'll go to the rest of the group.
I do have a question. So it's about time that I got off my duff and started doing a lot of heavy duty BD phone prospecting, and was wondering what people recommend. Do they recommend using your cell phone so that way someone sees your number, they may see your name and realize that it's not a spam call? Or do you recommend a Ring Central or something, like that? What's the pros and cons, and what do people do?
So I started cold calling 28 years ago. And it was just dialing, right? So, and as I've grown, I've always liked to dial from a static number. A lot of my calls come to my cell phone, and I can dial from my cell phone, but my applicant tracking system, Loxo, which I've had since 2016, has built-in dialing, right? And I can dial out, I can record the phone calls, and everything is tracked. And the idea behind this, Joe, is when you start doing a lot of searches, right? And you're using like an applicant tracking system, or you're using a spreadsheet, you want to be able to track everything. What did Steve say? What did Zach say? When did I call him last? Like, all that information is really important. So that's why I like using something like Jobin or Ring Central or whatever program you use, and also recording phone calls. I think recording phone calls is great for a couple of reasons. Number one, you can go back and listen and see where you screwed up. You can analyze your calls and just say, hey, how am I doing? What am I saying wrong? What am I saying right? You can send it to me and say, hey, Tom, here are 10 phone calls. Tell me what I did wrong. Tell me what I did right. You also, for candidate and client intakes, I record the conversations, right? So like right now, I'm using Cluey to record this entire conversation. And then I can look at all the notes when we're done. I can summarize it. And that goes for whenever I interview a candidate or whenever I do a job intake with a client. If a client calls and say, Tom, we have a job for you to work, no problem. I stick on Cluey and I get let it listen, and it pulls in all the information. So I can have a very intelligent conversation, ask a lot of really good questions, and not worry about writing everything down, because I have horrible handwriting. No one can read it but me, and I can't type really fast either. So this allows me to be able to really focus on asking the right questions when I'm interviewing a candidate, or asking the right questions when I'm doing a job intake, because I think that's really, really important. So when you're able to do that type of stuff, right, with all the features that are out there, but to answer your original question, I have no problem with the cell phone, but you have issues with service. You have issues with, it's going to say your name, so people may not answer when you try to say, hey, can I talk to Steve Jenkins, please? Who's calling? Oh, this is Tom with XYZ Corp. Why does it say Tom Alascio on your phone, right? Like when I call from Loxo, it just says Washington, D.C. It says 202-630-4814, Washington, D.C. When I call from my cell phone, it says 772-532-9785, Thomas Alascio. So I don't want them to see my name. I want them to see that there's a company calling, especially when I'm cold calling companies or clients. Now, if you want to call them from your cell phone after hours and then your name pops up because you talked to them on the phone and said, I can't talk now, call me tonight, there's nothing wrong with that. But that cold calling thing, I'm using a business line because I can do it faster too. Go ahead, Steve.
Joe, what ATS do you use?
Relate.
Do they have a dialer on it, or whatever you call it?
You can integrate Ring Central.
So you don't have to dial it yourself?
Right. There's a way to do, make it more automated.
You can do click to call. You can do click to call and Create. Create is very similar to Loxo in terms of integration for their phone service and their click to call and their recording.
Yeah, I mean, once I started using that feature with Loxo, I was able to kick out a lot more phone calls without fat fingering so often.
Right. So I've also heard, and forgive my ignorance on this, hopefully this helps some other people out. I've also heard issues related to not necessarily Ring Central, but other dialers out there having to do with spam numbers and them providing you numbers that actually create you more issues than not.
So that you have to be careful about, right? So I was lucky I got Google Meet early on and was able to get a 202 phone number, right? So you're right. Now with some of the areas, where do you live, Joe?
Connecticut.
Yeah, so I don't know how hard it is to get is it 203?
302?
No, 302 is Delaware.
860 primarily.
860, yeah. So how hard is it to get an 860?
I don't know. I haven't had to get a new number in many, many years.
So what I would say, and everybody's listening, Google Meet is free. If you have a Gmail address, Google Meet is free. You can use that phone number, right, for anything you want. You can dial from out of your computer using Google Meet. You can text message from Google Meet. It'll do recordings for you. Before I switched to Grasshopper and had all the teammates, everything was through Google Meet. Even though I had the system set up through Loxo, it recorded and transcribed all my voicemails. Right, so you can go to Google Meet and it'll show all your transcribed voicemails. Hey, Tom, this is Steve. Give me a call when you get a chance, right? Text messaging, the whole 9 yards. And it's 100% free. Now, and then what you can do, like I did, so when I call you from Loxo, I have a 202 number in Loxo, 202 something, right? But I always say, give me a call back at 202-630-4814. That number, that 202-630-4814, transfers to our Grasshopper phone service. Before I got the Grasshopper phone service, that transferred to my cell phone. And if they called the Loxo number that pops up, which is a 202 number, that also transfers to Grasshopper, and it used to transfer to my cell phone. So when you set this up, right, the reason I used the Google Meet in the beginning is because I was on a shoestring budget. Well, not shoestring, but I was on a budget, right? And what was I going to do? Pay for a phone service for when I could use Google Meet for free, and it had all those cool features like transcribing my voicemails, text messaging, and all that. Mm-hmm. So that was really awesome. And then as the company grew, I just kept the 202 number. I never ported it. I could port it away from Google Meet, but I still use Google Meet. Google Meet I still use for certain things, and I can go onto it right now and grab information from it. If someone calls my office at the same exact time that another person calls, one of those will go to Google Meet for voicemail. Because it'll screw up, it'll be too many lines. Like I don't have this giant switchboard. So Google Meet has just been really cool in terms of stuff like that.
Thank you.
And Brett, you had a question. What's up, bro?
Yeah, so Tom and Steve, are you guys doing biz dev calls out of Loxo? Like, do you find your people in sales nav and put them into Loxo?
Absolutely.
Yeah, just real quick, what I do is I use my call
Google Voice, not Google Meet. Sorry.
Okay, thanks. I have two methodologies. All my phone calls are in Loxo in a list, but then I also have it written down so I can make a tick mark very easily, although it is in the activity log of Loxo. But it just makes it for me, it makes it a lot easier just to look down and say, and take notes right here real quickly in kind of just my own little scribe or scribble about maybe who else I should call so I don't stop the flow, type things into Loxo.
Okay. Because like, let's say if you're doing ambulance chasing prospecting.
That's me.
Yeah, I found it to be very slow in finding people on Sales Nav to get to the call. Like, let's say if I look on Sales Nav and I'm like, okay, this person's been at ABC company for 2 months and they just left XYZ company. Then it's like, okay, then I have to go in and find XYZ company, find out who I'd be calling. Okay, get that person, and I put them into Apollo, which I think is easier for task management than Loxo. I think it's a faster thing. But like, I'd love to set up 50 dials a day somehow.
Okay. But so do you have Loxo? Do you have dialing in Loxo?
I don't, but I'd add it in a heartbeat if it was.
Okay. And how do you dial now?
Through Apollo. Well, no, through Microsoft Teams. I copy the number in Apollo and put it in Microsoft Teams.
Okay, so you have the voice version of Teams, the phone version.
Yeah.
You have to pay extra for that? I can never remember.
Yeah. It's not only do you have to pay extra, but you can only buy it through Microsoft. Which
okay. So suck. In Loxo, let me show you. I'll show you Loxo for a second. So in Loxo, I'll do this one here because I just filled this job. And if you guys are watching, want to go out and go after one of my clients, you can. I don't care.
That's confidence.
So what we have here is, now obviously this is not business development. This is recruiting. But right now, like with Alfred, I can click on him and call. Right? I can call his work number. I can record the phone call right here. And then it'll make, in the activity, it'll say, I called him October 14th at 5:11. Okay.
Now, you can also call directly from that prior panel, right? With
Yeah, I
their
can call
phone.
from right here, right? I can go right there,
Yeah.
right? See that? I can also create a call list if I want. But like if you were doing this in the biz dev, say you had, there's 5 in this, there's 50 in this short list. Here you go. You could just smile and dial right down this list. And you could even make it like this and go to the short list pipeline here and call from right here. Right? And every time
Okay,
you
so
make,
when you,
right?
yeah, even just compiling the people, finding the 50 people to call per day has been a bitch. Like finding, let's say, 50 VPs of construction in the greater Seattle area and getting them into Loxo.
Are you putting
Like
them in
that
CSV first?
That's why you need a
Pardon?
virtual assistant.
Okay, so okay,
Yeah.
let's try this again. You want, let me see.
What contact finder are you using there, Brett?
I've got Loxo and I've got Apollo. Is
Do you care where they're located?
no, for the sake of this demonstration, we can just do the US, or
Well, you only want
globally.
50, right? But let's do Washington. Washington, the United States. We want construction, right?
Sure. Yes, please.
Where's industry? Someone help me. My brain's not
It's right
working.
there, right below geography.
Ah, got it right here. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna put for a keyword. We're gonna put in roadway. Okay, and then we're gonna put in function. No, we're gonna put in
Title.
seniority level. We're gonna put in vice president. We're gonna put in CXO. We're gonna put in partner.
Director might get you up above
Yeah.
18. That gets you partway there.
Let's try something else. Let's try design build. There we go.
All right, that'll keep me
Here's
busy.
director.
There you go. You got 1,000 people now.
779, right? So then we're going to go with company headcount. Let's go with 1150 and 51 to 200, right? So those are medium-sized structural or companies, right? And then, right, so we got the vice president of Armada Building Design, right? And who do we want to talk to? We want to talk to the vice president of construction. I mean, you're going to have a problem in some of these, like you don't want the chief operating officer, right? You don't want a CFO. You don't want the VP of HR, right? But you definitely want this guy, right? So I may build this out, or I may just go and click job in, right? And get all 333 people. Now from there, right? You say you use Apollo. With Apollo, how many people can you grab at a time?
I can
From
grab
here.
333, I'm sure.
With Apollo?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would grab all, like what I would do, this is what I would do. If this was my, and I was going to call all these people, I'd hit 333 with job in, right? Because that's going to grab all 333. When that's done, I'm going to go to job in and I'm going to grab a CSV file. Then I'm going to drop it in Loxo and I'm going to enrich it with Loxo. I'm going to start there, right? That's the quickest way to start, right? Because you're going to think, well, I don't have all the phone numbers. Well, fuck it. You're going to have some phone numbers, right? So
Okay,
you're gonna
Thomas,
call
let me
the
ask you a
ones-
question. Let me ask you a
Yeah.
question right there.
Yeah.
When you say you're gonna enrich them through Loxo, is that gonna be one at a time, or is there a
No,
methodology?
you
where
just do, you come to Loxo, like, for example, Loxo for a second, right? So do you see, like, so I'll show you real quick. We can like all 50 people on this page, find contact info. Personal email, work email, phone number. Continue.
Holy moly, I had not seen that little toggle there.
You also can do it from here, right? Let me show you this. Right here. See this? Where is it? See that right there? Has active stage automation. You know what the stage automation is? Automatically find a personal email. So anytime they move into the short list, it automatically looks for their personal email. Over here in the sourced, it automatically looks for stuff, right? So you could have it set up to automatically like right. Let me get rid of this. Hold on. Right here, you click this, and stage automations. Find a personal email, work email, phone number, whatever you want. Right. So, and then you can see if they got it for you. Like on Norris Mandry, if I go to his thing, if I click on this, Loxo found this work number, right? Loxo found this, and Loxo found all these. That's what this means. Now, here for those of you who do not have unlimited credits or are worried about your credits running out, click on this right here if the data is inaccurate, right? Like he's at Armstrong Steel, so these are right. But if he wasn't at Armstrong Steel anymore, you could click he's no longer at Armstrong Steel. Like I can do this. I'm going to do this. Watch. I don't need to do this, but his email is full name, not initial. Right. And now I'll get a credit back because of that. Right. So for those of you who only have 200 or 300 or 400 credits, make sure if you get a bad number or a bad email and you see there's a flag next to it, make sure you flag it so you get that credit back. Now, once that's done, so as I've told you, I grab my 50, 100, whatever number of people, I enrich it in Loxo. Now I can start smiling and dialing. And another thing you could do if you're worried about the ones that don't have phone numbers, right here, you type in, let me find it.
Is it underscore exist, whatever?
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, this right here.
Yeah. There you go.
So actually, does it work? Exists phones. 220. Yep. Yep. See? And then
The only problem with that is it does not distinguish. At least it hadn't. I kept pestering them. It doesn't distinguish between cell phones and other phones.
Is that right, Steve? Not exists?
Yeah, but you have to have a space. I think
That's
between
right. Not a space. You're right.
There
So
you
these
go.
9 people don't have phone numbers.
Okay. So
And
then
I don't
are
know
you-
if you can add mobile. Maybe that's.
No. Well, at least you couldn't a couple months ago because I was all over their chassis for mobile to distinguish, because those are the first ones I call. The number did change to 229 rather than 223.
Oh, it's cell. No, my keyboard's dying. Hold on. Nope, they didn't fix it.
So then, let's say if you were going to, do the NPC or something, you just set up a campaign and dump all these people in that campaign and then go to town.
I don't. So if I was to do an NPC, thing, I'm going to do this. I'm going to come to here and I'm going to create a call list. Call queue or a call list, right? So I have lists, like if I click on this, right?
Yeah,
So
I think it's much better to do a list than a queue.
here's a list. And then you can you can dial from here, right? Or you can dial like this.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, when you click on Keith Harmon, it comes up like this if you want to take notes while you're talking to him or whatever, right? So, but as he said, I'm going to do a list like this. That way I can go through and just basically do what I need to do and make a little note that says, you know, you could call this list Steve Jones MPC or Joe Squara MPC or whatever it is. And then you have a whole bunch of MPC lists and you know where you stand, right? With each one. Right?
Yeah.
Like I can, you know, you can go through and then you can call them either way you want, right? And every time you call, like this guy here, if I call this guy, right, it's going to, now I'm going to see that I call Brad Curtis, right, as my activity. And right here, I can see, you know, left his office voicemail and followed up with his email. Left message on his office voicemail and followed up with email. Right. This is I was actually helping a guy buy these companies. I tried to get these companies to sell, these guys to sell their companies. That's why I was getting a hold of them. So it should be that there should be history on all these guys. Let me see. Yeah, left message on his voicemail. CC'd his father on email, founder, Athens Steel Buildings. Right. Here's hi, my name is Tom Alash. I'm a headhunter. I have investors looking to buy a metal building company. Right. So that's the email that I sent. Right. And I can see the email there. I reached out via email, received notification he has read it. Email has CC'd to his father. Right. Curtis Funk. I actually got them in it didn't go through, but they were going to buy them. And so, you know, you can see it, email bounced, left message on his cell. Right. So that to give you an idea, if you were working an MPC like this, right, I emailed this guy twice and never got anywhere. Right. So that's how you could use this. If you think about it in terms of MPCs, you could put notes right here that you can see for yourself. That's the other cool thing about Loxo, right? This notes section, right, I believe is this one right here that I created. Right. So let me see if it works. Yep. See? So you could put, as you're calling these guys, you could put no need. You could put over here result. You could make a thing that says MPC result or MPC candidate or whatever it is. So if you happen to click on this guy a year down the road, that will be there. That's the cool thing about Loxo is you can create all these, you customize your grid and customize your stuff, right? So I created the ones that say remove, I created, right? So I created will reload to, his degree, headline, company description, skills, birthday, salary expectations, nickname, immigration status, and groups. And with immigration status, you can do it in a hierarchy. So here. So if you look at Brad Curtis and go to immigration status, you have a choice. Does he have his green card? Is he H-1B? Is he OPT? Is he a U.S. citizen? And so you could create one that's like MPC status, doesn't pay fees, told me they have internal recruiting. I mean, you can set this up however you want. And all these are Boolean. I can search all these too, right? You can't search in here, but you can search these. You can also filter by these too, because when you come up here, see this right here? Watch. Immigration status, groups, owner, source, type, job stage, created date, skill, company description, headline. You can have whatever you want in the view that you want. If you're doing, let's say you're marketing an MPC or you're doing business development or whatever you do, it's up to you, right? But at the end of the day, all of them, you know, you can change it however you want. You can come over here and decide where it is. Show in the grid, show on the record, show in deals, show in placements, right? So like, for example, I don't have zip code in the grid or salary in the grid, but I could add salary, right? And then we'll come down here and hit save. And now salary should be right here. And then we could sort all the people who make salary, right? We can see what these people are making. I mean, there's lots of different ways to skin cats with Loxo, which is kind of neat, right? And then you have your sorts are right here, right? We're sorting by salary right now. We can sort by location and salary, right? We can sort by title and location and salary.
Dude, Loxo should pay you. They should pay you and have you on their website.
Well, just the thing about Loxo is there's so many great features, but they don't remember to tell everybody, and there's no real like cheat sheet or something. And maybe I should make one or something. I don't know. But there's so much stuff that you can do, and that's like the business development thing always pisses me off because I don't have a pipeline to work through. But these are the ways that you could do it. They'll be easier for you, and that you could search and figure out how to do it. Like, you know, the view like this. If you're marketing a candidate and you're going to this list, right? Let's go to those 7 guys right here, right? I can see everything about them right here, right? So if I'm marketing an NPC and I have on his card, right? Like when you go and we click on Brad Curtis, if I have an NPC result or whatever somewhere in here, you'll be able to see that. You will be able to work through him and say, hey, Brad, you and I spoke 2 years ago. I called you about a great engineer named Bill Jones. I sent you an email and a connection request. You never got back. What the fuck's your problem, bro? Don't you want to hire good people or whatever it is, right? I mean, and then
I typically
you
say
can
that
email
to my
them from here.
clients.
You'll believe the stuff I've said. But anyway, like so again, there's a bunch of different ways to do this, right? And also for those of you asking about putting people in, Brent, for example, you wanted to know about marketing, right? Well, why don't you use Loxo Source for that, right? Like go into Loxo Source, put in the title, right? VP of Construction.
First.
Director of Construction. Director of Construction. Director of Construction. What's another one? Director of Construction, VP of Construction.
I've seen Director of Project Delivery.
There it is.
Okay, so we're going to do current, location, United States. What's that give us? Oh, a lot. Okay, so let's do, okay, so we got to do industry. Industry, construction. $89,000 location. Let's do Washington State, where you live.
There we
Okay,
go.
and then let's do company ranking, company size. Let's do 50 to 200 and 200 to 500. 134. There you go. So then what you would do is select all, add to a list, create list. This is going to be Brent, MPC, John Smith, right? J. Smith. And click create new list, right? Add, right? And then we go to 134. We come down to the bottom. And we click page 2, right? Add to list. And it's Brent. And so we got 100 people now. You got 100 people you can smile and dial, right? And you can you might say, oh, there's some guys don't want to call. Well, who cares, right? They're already in there. You go to your list. What? Oh,
No, we can just grab any list for the sake of the demo. But yeah, then you just pile through them.
yeah. So now we got Brent, MPC, J Smith, right? It's taking a little while. It'll take it a second to load, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird because this guy right here, Paul Snorky, he's senior vice president. He should be on there, and he comes up. Why didn't he come onto the list?
Do you want to
weird.
know a funny story about that guy?
What?
I went to high school with him. He was 2 years behind me. He got expelled because when it was a night where the grade schools bring their students to Blanchette, the Catholic high school, to see like what the school's about,
Uh-huh.
during the chant, DILDOE, dildo, dildo referee, he threw
Oh
a
God.
dildo onto the court.
Oh my God.
That doesn't go over well at a Catholic high school.
No. So we got, these are all the people from that group. Wyatt didn't do what I thought it was going to do. So we'll do that. And then we hit from here, because now I'm pissed, add to a list. And we're going to add to Brent, MPC. And now we should look at Gerald Kim, and they are on Brent MPC list. We click on that, and we have our 50. So now you can click all 50, right? Let's select all 50 people, find contact info. I want their phone number. I don't want their personal email because it's business, right? We don't care about that. Hit continue, and it's going to find as many as it can for this. And now we're ready to rock and roll. Now you got your MP, you're on whatever we called it, Brent MPC, right? John Smith, and then you start smiling and dialing, right? So I'm going to call him. Hey, Gerald Tomalashu, never spoke before. Just got done a search in Seattle for one of the big data center construction managers. Guy came late into the process. He's got 9 years experience in data center and mission critical. Every project he's worked on has come in on time and under budget, which means any projects you have that are behind, he can come on tomorrow and then hit the ground running and bring those projects on time. I have no reason to believe you're looking to hire anybody right now, but a guy like this would take me months to find if you call me tomorrow and ask me to do the search. Would you be interested in talking to him tomorrow at 4 or Friday at 3?
I like it.
Oh, no rebuttals? No fucking objections to that? Come on.
Send over the resume. So, do you know I got screwed with today?
Send your resume. Send your resume. You know, I've been doing this for like, I don't know, 28 years yesterday. And there's 3 reasons why you're asking me to send your resume, Brent. You get called by recruiters all the time and tell you about a schmo who's horrible and he ends up being really bad. Or you actually have an opening. You want to see my guy. Or you're too nice of a guy to tell me to go pound sand and this is the way to get me off the phone. Which one is it?
I'm going to go with all 3.
So, so to get, this is looking for the numbers now, but I don't care what applicant tracking. Joe, you're in Crelate. You can do this in Crelate, right? Like this is, I don't know what Craig's business development component is, but no matter how you do it, the whole point of this is to be able to make quick phone calls, right? So once this gets all the information, we'll go back to here. Jorge Alicron, Brent MP Smith, right? So, we got new guys added, and we don't have phone numbers yet. So, I'd have to enrich the other ones, right? But like, come on, load. That's probably the next page, because those were the oldest ones. See, so we already started getting numbers, right? So let's start with Ed Fisher. Boom. I'm calling Ed. Hey, Ed, Tom Alascio, do you have an opening, right? Daryl Smith. Hey, Daryl, Tom Alascio, do you have an opening? Hey, Daniel. Now, I don't like that it's getting me to cell phones. I know this sucks, but I want to call these guys at work, right? Like, I want to get them in their office. So why Loxo hasn't given me their office numbers is kind of wild. It's just giving me their there's one with a work number. Cell phone, work email, right? So, I'm going to call that name I can't pronounce and be like, hey, my name is Tom Alascio. Got a great candidate, blah, 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 blah. And if you get the secretary, hit 0, have them paged. Where are they? What time will they be back in the office? Like, it's all about getting a hold of the people and getting your presentation out there, especially for those of you who have never really done hardcore cold calling, hardcore MPC calls. You want that experience. I don't care. You're like, well, that's a residential company. I got a project manager who's got construction. So what? Make the call. And they're like, hey, man, I just started. I've only been doing this, 8 months. This guy has some residential. I probably should have mentioned that when I called you. And start a conversation, because this guy may say, you know what? We don't have a need for a guy like that, but man, we have a need for a project manager who knows custom homes. How are you going to find that out other than doing this? Go ahead, Joe.
So curious, since you're using a construction example and a lot of these people are out in the field, why do you not want to use the cell phone? Is there something
Because you're
about
dealing with the leader. The leader usually is in the office, right?
Yeah, those
He
are
may
the
be out
vice
in the field,
president.
right?
If it
He
was
may be
like,
out in the field, but I'd rather get him in the office.
yeah,
If
or
it was project
or they're
manager or superintendent in construction, that's where I use the
The
cell
yeah.
phone. Everything else is office.
Yeah, because what you have to think about, like, is Daniel McCoon, he probably gets a lot of fucking calls on his cell phone. Probably a lot. And if he's not going to recognize a DC number or my 772 number. He's not going to pick up my call. But if I call his office, his secretary answers, hey, Sally, is Dan in? Oh, he's on the call right now. Okay, can I hold for a sec? Who's this? Oh, it's Tom Alacio, RLI Construction. What's your call in reference to? Oh, but project. Which project? Oh, one we're talking about starting, and I just wanted to get his insight. Can you put me on hold? Yeah, sure, no problem. Right? That, like, you guys have to have this confidence about yourself. Like, I'm calling to talk to the motherfucker. Who are you to even block me? Right now, sometimes they may say, "Why are you calling from DC?" Or whatever. But you just have to be very adamant. Like, oh, and the cool thing about that too is how many people here. I have a cell phone from Florida. I live in DC. How many people here have a phone number associated with them that's not where they live? And that happens a lot. Right, I got a guy right now that I'm getting an interview for who lives in Phoenix, who's from Atlanta, but he was born and raised in Birmingham. He's got a 205 cell phone number, and he lived in Atlanta, and now he's in Phoenix. Right, so a lot of people don't look at that and say, "Oh, who is this?" I called a guy today in DC to get some pricing on a paper, and he kept saying, "No, thank you, no, thank you." And I go, "Dude, I'm actually a customer. I see my Florida number. I'm actually looking to buy something." He goes, "Oh man, I'm so sorry. I get these spam calls all the time." So, it can backfire, but that's why I like calling the office. When I'm marketing an MPC, I want to get a hold of the guy at his office so he knows it's me calling, and I don't have to deal with him not answering his cell phone. And if I leave a message on his cell and then I call his office the next day, he's like, "Oh, that's that fucking recruiter that left me a message." No. I want first contact. That's why I don't leave messages till at least the second or third attempt. And for those of you who want to talk about marketing, it's features and benefits. It's not just features. It's features and benefits. If you're selling features, you're like everybody else, right? Benefits is how a candidate saves a company money or makes a company money. So if you're putting together a presentation, there has to be benefits. Why should I even talk to your guy, Joe? What can he do for me?
Mm-hmm.
I got a business AI question.
Go ahead.
Like this morning, I had a fella give me a call, and he said, "Steve, I need, business isn't doing well here. Bottom line, he wants me to market into as many companies as possible." I asked him for a list, which he gave to me just in the middle of this call. But beforehand, I took his last 3 companies. They're all doing the same thing. And I gave Perplexity, name of the company, and the website. So give me the top 100 in Colorado marketplace. And what's interesting is he gave me a list of companies that are on the bid list when he's bidding for projects.
Is he an estimator?
No, this is multifamily restoration, mitigation,
Water damage.
construction
storm damage.
defect investigation stuff. I'm just curious, has anybody done real well with AI doing research on competitors, and has Have they had high accuracy?
Try this. Try
My exact,
tell me what your first thing was. I want what you said.
yeah, I said, you are an expert at the multifamily housing industry and are able to do deep research, just gilding the lily here, into what companies are involved in multifamily property restoration work. Examples are Savvy Multifamily at their email, Willow Bridge, their email, Tristone Construction. And they gave me clarification.
What location?
Yes,
What location?
Colorado. I asked them, is this clear? And they said, yes, it is. This is what you're looking for. And I said, I'm a recruiter in the multifamily housing industry, so I need 100 companies in the Colorado marketplace who are in the competitive marketplace. Please provide the list, put in with 2 columns. And it spat out. It spat out a whole ton. I did get 100, and I can look at them and say, yeah, you're close. But what was so interesting and intriguing was the list that he gave me. Half of them aren't on this list. So accuracy.
What are the type of companies again? I want to see if I have an idea.
They would be companies that are in mitigation, restoration,
that are construction companies
in multifamily, water restoration,
multifamily,
yes,
construction that do mitigation
/ restoration, general contracting, and construction defect investigation.
In mitigation / restoration and construction defect.
Yeah, as well as general contracting. There's gonna be a mix probably of owner operated and third party.
Multifamily construction and mitigation / restoration.
Yep.
Okay, so the company needs to have what?
Let me jump in here. Maybe
needs to have experience in some type of mitigation or restoration. And if the company does not specifically spell out that it has mitigation or restoration experience, there will be no interest.
That might be true. Joe, what were you going to say?
I'm going to say that there are 2 numbers that you want to try to get, and you can get these from ChatGPT. One is the SIC code,
Correct,
and the other one is the NAICS code, NAICS.
Yeah,
so
I used to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, for example, I just looked it up. The NAICS code is 562910, and that's for water damage restoration. So what you're going to find based on some of the things you mentioned is there's going to be companies that are going to fall into a number of different SIC codes. So, you just went over different things that don't just fall into one. So that would be where I would go, because those are codes where it's very important in the industry that all be aligned for a lot of their own financial reasons, for insurance reasons, etc. So that would be, to me, one of the starting places.
That's a good idea. I used to do so much with those 2 codes.
I haven't even tried the SIC code thing. I need to look at that. So look what I got. Tell me what you think.
Throw it up on the screen. Yeah. Yep. It's so funny. He is now at Savvy right there. That was the first one that it gave me too. Yeah.
So what I said is this: please do primary research in Colorado for the following types of companies that are construction companies in multifamily construction and mitigation, restoration, and construction defect. The company specifically needs to have experience in some type of mitigation or restoration. If the company does not specifically spell that out, there'll be no interest, right? So then it only gave me these 4. I tried again, or 5 or 6. I tried again, and then I said I need 25 more companies. So then it did this, right? So you can. And then what was the other thing you said about SIC codes, right? Do we know what the SIC codes are?
the NAIC. Have you found, Joe, that NAICS is it breaks
It's more
it down?
detailed.
Yeah, it's more detailed. Yeah.
Yep.
What's the other one?
NAICS
NAICS
and
for
SIC. Joe, have you found that sometimes you get the sneaky suspicion that an administrative assistant just jammed themselves into as many as possible? Because that was the downside.
Yes.
Did you say yeah?
Brett said yes.
Because that's my only fear sometimes. Like, oh crap, I know you don't do like residential throws themselves into multifamily.
Ernie had given me this. What was that directory that Ernie had? It was
Thomas's.
no. What the hell was that called? I used to have it as up here as a. Let me see if I still have it somewhere. It was brown and orange, and it was.
Their logo is brown and orange.
It was weird. It gave you every single company, anybody that said they did X. It was gigantic.
All I can think of is Thomas Register.
It was like Thomas, but it was even bigger. So,
Wasn't Martindale Hubble.
directory of all companies that use SIC codes or NIACS codes.
Yeah. See, the thing about the SIC codes and the NAICS codes is they are very important from a financial standpoint. So companies like Dun & Bradstreet and Experian that are doing credit analysis of these companies need to have accurate information. So
can a company get in trouble for slipping themselves in?
Directory that is nationwide that lists all the companies by industry or specialization. It's very simple directory. Is this it?
I used to use that one a lot.
Oh, maybe this is it. No, there was a. Wait, I'll have to ask Ernie next time, and I'll let you guys know.
Yeah,
There was a directory.
So, Joe, how would you append what Thomas and I just did with Perplexity to be just a bit more accurate, perhaps?
I don't know that you can, other than from a geographic or employee size, those types of metrics, because it really does come down to the SIC codes, which start off as a larger group, and then you can drill down even smaller. But the NAICS code, that's as drilled down as you're going to be. So
yeah.
If it doesn't fall in that category, let's say that there's a company on the list and it doesn't fall in that NAICS code, you'd have to look at, all right, what do they do? Why do they not fall into that category, to see whether or not there's some issue in terms of the definition of what the company does that you're trying to match up to the code.
Well, what I might do is I might take these 100 companies that it did give to me and just rerun it and say, if they have an NAICS of whatever you said, is whatever, I'll look them up, 562910, put them on the list. If not,
so I guess the first thing that I would do is the different categories that you started off giving.
Yeah.
I would just go one by one, say, what is the SIC code? What is the NAICS code? Then the next one, because one of the things you said was, I think, general construction. Well, that's massive. That could be anything.
That's everything. I should probably leave that one out, actually.
Yeah.
That one would probably be no good. So yeah, I'll just say, listen, take this list and add 2 more columns, that of NAICS and SIC code, and rerun the entire list. And then just sort for the ones that are accurate. Cool. See, a brain trust.
So I did natural language search. So multifamily construction and mitigation, restoration, and construction defect.
Okay, in that syntax, I'm assuming that it's going to include new build of multifamily. So somehow we need to distinguish between those companies rather, that are building new build ground up, and those who go in there and fix them when they go awry.
Now the other thing is you could put in the company names, like the list, right? So what are some of those company names?
Savvy Multifamily. Jim.
Company. Savvy.
Yep. Savvy Multifamily.
2 V's.
Yes. Jim Black Construction. There we go. First one. Apex Restoration. We can't bulk load that, can we? We can't put, say, quote, Savvy Multifamily, end quote, or, quote, Jim Black, end quote, or.
In whatchamacallit, we can. So I could take, that's actually a good idea. If I did.
You can in Sales Navigator.
In Navigator, yeah. So where is that?
See, and that's what I use Typing Mind for constantly, is I give them a list of companies or candidates, and I say, put that in the context that I've asked for a zillion times. Yeah. That alone has saved me so much time.
Put this list in the Boolean or format and clean up stuff like incorporated or location, and just give me the company name.
Beautiful. That's it. Yeah, I wish Loxo would allow us to do that, because it would show just who we have already in our databases, etc. Joe, thanks for reintroducing me to the codes, because I used to do that all the time. I slipped a gear there.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
VP of Ops, National Director of Ops, Senior Vice President, Vice President Operations, Chief Strategy. Yeah, there's your list.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, I'll drop this in here for you. The bullion, if it's not too big. There you go. Now in Loxo, what I would do is this. It might not work, but let me see. So get rid of company here and do this. And then maybe
you may want to put current rather than past, right?
no, I
That
put this in. I put this here, right? So title would be like.
But you want their current title rather than current and past.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
current
saying.
chief executive officer, director.
So guys, I'm going to have to run.
Vice. You have another question before you go?
Nope.
Joe,
Thank you very
thanks.
much.
Hope to see you again.
You will. Thank you very much.
See you, Joe.
Appreciate it.
So on this one, this is like cool. I did the Boolean string we just talked about in the keyword area, right? And so it's not as good, but that's how you would do that. Like here's project director, first on site property renovations, right? Here's director of estimating and ATI restoration, right? So you could go through real quickly and just, grab the ones you want and then add them to Steve MPC list.
Exactly.
Right. So like, again, we have all the things. I wish I could say that other thing, but this is actually not bad. Serve Pro, Vice President of Services, Senior Vice President Information, no. Director of Marketing, no. Business Development, Core Contractors, Roofing Systems. Managing Director, Restoration Management Company, Project Director, Operations Manager. Like that's your guy right there. Senior Project Director at Lion Restoration. Yeah, you're right. I don't like the fact that we can't use Boolean. And they also say companies, right? You could do this and do industry sector, would be construction, right? And then do mitigation or restoration. Restoration. Right? And then 51, 201, 1000. 1150, and then Colorado, 190.
Yeah, those are definitely some of them.
Right? Like there's first on site, and then from here you could see the people, right? So, how I don't know. I've never used this, but let's say we'll take this one, we'll take this one, we'll take this one, right? We'll take Palace just in case.
Abbott's. Serve Pro. The thing about Serve Pros, I think they're a franchise, so it'd be like squeezing blood from a turnip.
Yeah.
But they're great to recruit from.
Palace Restoration. Right. Like you could even come over here and do a revenue, right? Get rid of all them. Like we do the 10 million to 50 million to 500 million. That's going to knock us down to 142. So I'm going to hit select all, get rid of line painting, get rid of geostabilization because that's not what you want. Summit sealants is not what you want. Custom seating is not what you want. That's probably not what you want. Colorado Constructor, CEI, Serpro, who's in Revelation Roofing, MTC, Highland. I don't know what they do. Professional Apex, STO design engineering, no. Smalley, reconstruction experts, right? So we got, and this is kind of cool. It's 50 companies, right? So we view employees of all these companies, right? So then we can click seniority, VP, head, director, partner, C level, and then click in Colorado. $138 decision makers. So now you can real quick go through here, right? And be like, okay, vice president, executive director. If you saw like, we don't want that guy, right? We don't need him, right? But then you could just click from here, hit select all, right? And get rid of the ones you don't need, right? Like this guy, like this guy, like this chick.
Whoops.
Like this guy, this guy, this guy. There you go. Now you have, how many we got? Probably 40. And then add them to a campaign or a list or wherever you're going to do it. Like this is actually good. And you can do the fetch contact afterwards or during, right? I want their phone number and their work email.
If you were a betting man, Thomas, would I paid the $600 for the entire year. This was before people were able to do the $50.
Chatterworks.
Chatterworks, yeah.
Can't you upload a CSV in there? Right. So and that's why I say don't get caught up, right? If you're going to use this or you're going to use Navigate, whatever it is, do the simplest way first. So this would be if you have plenty of credits in Loxo, this would be the simplest way, dude. Come on here, grab these people, add them to a list. The ones that don't have phone numbers, right? You can pull them out. Remember, if I add this to a list, right? Then when I go to the list, the ones who don't have phone numbers, I can just delete, hit export as CSV, send them over to Apollo and whatever while I'm making phone calls on the ones that I have numbers on. Don't get caught up in, I need all the numbers now. In this particular situation, right? Like if we go to, I don't know if it's going to populate the list that quick, but we'll go like when we did for Brent, right? Right. So Brent there's 100 in here. Some of them don't have phone numbers, whatever. Right. So do the not phone numbers. Right. And then let's say there's 50. Then you can just export. Export selected. These 50 will get exported. Then drop them in Apollo while you go to page 4. Right.
If you were asking me if you can send a CSV of people to Chatterworks, no.
Are you sure?
That is the last. Chatterworks, the very last little place where you can put anything is the first name and last name, and I can't.
Do you have
that.
SalesQL?
I do not have SalesQL now.
But you have Apollo.
No.
What do you use for Contact Finder? Chatterworks, is that it?
Chatterworks, and I did use Zoom Info for 2 years, so I have a lot of names and numbers now.
Oh, I can't get in. I don't feel like paying. Can you share your screen with me real quick with Chatterworks?
Sure. Let me
I
get
wanna see if there's
Chatterworks
anything
up.
we can do.
Let me take all this stuff out so that you don't look at all the. Let me get to Chatterworks. Bam. Log in. Okay, let me get everybody in. So as you can, whoops. Why?
Okay, so what do we got here? Did you save, search? Scroll down for me.
If I do
Go
that,
to projects. Go to projects.
I don't know why it's not working because look, it's just doing this stuff.
What are you doing, bro?
I don't know why my cursor is.
When you went to share screen, did you do tab, window, or screen?
Tab.
Do entire screen.
Okay, let's see. Stop sharing.
Mr. Russell's been very quiet. He's new.
You're saying entire screen?
Yeah, far right. There are 3 options.
Yep. But it doesn't let me share that. It says cancel that. So I'm going to go into it again. Share screen.
Yeah, yeah. When you click entire screen, click the screen first. Click the screen you want to share. It'll turn purple or whatever, and then click share. There we go. Now go to the Chatterworks tab at the very top.
Holy shit. Look at that.
Okay, that's fine. Go to the very top tabs. See where it says Chatterworks? You have Services Savvy, Chatterworks, Property Management, new tab, Meet, Chatterworks. Click on the Chatterworks tab at the very top.
Still doing this stuff.
What is going on? Okay, let's look what you got. At the very bottom right, what is that yellow thing?
Down here.
In your toolbar at the very bottom.
You
Yeah,
talk
like
about
it looks like a WhatsApp. What is that? Right. I want you to right click your mouse. Right click. Okay. See
Holy
that?
cow, look at this shit.
Here, right click your mouse. Right click.
Okay, right click.
And
But I don't know why, but my cursor.
you see that thing where it says stickers and pen and disappearing ink? You all have that turned on. How did you turn that on? So
I don't
click
know.
it. Okay, see right there. Click on that. Yes, click on that. That thing where your thing is right now, there's like a drop down and a little thing. No, Steve, right there. Click on that. Yeah. What is it? Stop annotating. Stop annotating. Now go up to the tabs. There we go. Now click on projects. How the hell you got the annotating is beyond me.
I have no idea. I mean,
okay, so click on candidates. Can't do it from there. Click on your staff chaper thing. Click on your staff chapers thing on the right.
See, normally the way you search is you can either do all this stuff right here.
Yeah. And you
all
can do
that.
Boolean in the company name.
You
So that
can
Boolean that I gave you,
Okay.
drop that Boolean into company name. Like go to the yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I do this a lot with companies. And then we want to make sure that's only current. We want to go to state Colorado.
How many so far? Page of 34 times 50, so 150. So then include job title, include VP, director. Just put in vice president. Yeah, director, enter, or vice president, or CEO. Vive president. We're not vibing.
Vibing, man. Whoa, shit.
Or CEO, or partner. What do we got?
172.
Okay.
Which is good. Which is good. If we wanted to drill down a little deeper, what I would always hope is that we could, in this candidate section here, do a Boolean
For what?
of the list of candidates that are in Loxo. But I don't think you can do a Boolean of candidates, although obviously you could do a Boolean of company.
Yeah, so this isn't bad too, and you have all the contact finders and lookups for this, and it shows you they all have phone numbers, right? Look at all, like click on the ones exclude only with phones. Click on only with phones. How many?
119.
There you go. That's where I'd start.
Yeah. And the nice thing about ChatterWorks is you can also exclude the ones that are, I mean, once you've got your list,
Yeah.
exclude
Also,
the ones you've already
viewed. Do you have Loxo credits?
I think I only have I don't have very many. My question would be, would it be better to re-up on ChatterWorks, or how much does it cost? I don't know how much it costs.
So it would be like, okay, so what you have to figure out for yourself is like for your bit, like where do you use it the most? Like, is it for candidates? Is it for business development? What is working best for you? Right? Or do you feel like you can search and chat? Because that's the thing. I canceled ChatterWorks because I realized Loxo has gotten so much better, right? So with Loxo, all the contact finder, I get all that information. And then if I don't, I have SalesQL, which is $40 a month or $49 a month sitting there as an extra just in case, right? I don't need any more contact finder info. I found there's one, you might want to check this one out. There's two other ones I just found, and give them a whirl. You don't need to pay anything right away. Where are they? Okay, so look up Boomerang.
Okay.
Yeah, so make sure this is the right one. So Boomerang is kind of neat because this is what I'm thinking about. Hold on. Okay, yeah, Boomerang. Check this out. So with Boomerang, it's really cheap, and you can drop an Apollo export into here. You can drop a sales navigator. I can go like that sales navigator list we just did. Where is that? Right here. I can drop this 333. Let's get this down to let's see that one there. This from 19 companies, right? So there's 19 results, right? So I can click this link, hit copy, and then go to Boomerang and share this. Yeah, so my request is submitted successfully. And then
So
they'll
what will
send
it
me,
get back to you?
and they'll get back to me. Yeah, so over here, I did these ones. This one's in queue. I did this one as a test, right? And let's see, where is this? Was date. It shows me the URL I used, right, for the 15 results, right? And then I don't remember how I got, oh, there it is.
Right there.
Download the file. There's the file.
And it gave you emails? Did it give you? No.
Gave us. Hold on, let me see.
Does it give you private emails?
It didn't get any emails. It didn't get any emails.
No
We were
email.
going, like, I was just messing around because this is like kittens
Sure.
in cups and stuff. But like,
Yeah.
but it gives you the LinkedIn URL as well, the corporate and everything. So you could put these into Loxo and enrich them. I don't, like I said, this was a new thing that we've tried. And then now it's this one. Not uploaded, can't view it.
Still in the queue.
And this was exports and waterfall enrichment. And then you can come back here and do yeah, so how it works. Yeah, there's a little video about how it works. And then under here for subscriptions, look how expensive it is. Right? To export Nicolo, it's $10 a month for 4,000 leads. Sales Navigator, $1,500 leads for $10 a month. Waterfall enrichment, 700 valid emails for $10 a month.
Wow.
So, and like, and then if you go to like 32 credits, right, you're paying $32 a month, you can get 2,100 valid emails in waterfall enrichment.
Wow.
So, and then there's email finder here. Drop your file. Like, okay, let's try that. So, drop your CSV here, and what is this? Yeah, that was just 50. Okay, so we'll do that one. Acquired column, first name, last name, company names. I guess they figured it out. Yeah, your request is submitted. So I just dropped a 50-person CSV in there. Export LinkedIn competitor followers. See who follows your competition on LinkedIn for strategic planning. Share the complete link URL of the company and look at their followers.
Wow. Man, there's a lot of them
Export
out there.
LinkedIn post comments and reactions. Find a LinkedIn post that you like, put the name of the file, and it'll get you all the people who commented on it.
And you can then put those in probably job in and say, hey, thanks for your wisdom. My life is now saved.
Exactly. Yeah. You could, let's find what's her name? This says 35 comments, right? So let's click on this one.
Yeah, copy link to post. How'd you find out about this one?
Somebody told, oh, payment is 10 credits. I got to pay for this one. You didn't have enough credit. Buy credit. This would cost 10 credits. So interesting. What is that? Back to subscription. Post, comments, reaction, export. One post is 10 credits. So that's expensive.
My goodness, that is expensive.
One post is 10
You'd
credits.
have to really be prudent there. But that's interesting.
Yeah.
So,
and then the other one that I had, where's my page here? So,
Trust data.
I got to make sure these are the right. I get so many all the time, Steve.
Yeah.
This is API access. I don't know what that means. Let me look at this other ones. Let's see. Pricing core signal. Includes 200 collect, 400 search credits, employee company job endpoints. I guess that's not the one. Let's see. I don't know what these get, right? So I get these person data, company data, use cases. Again, API stuff. I don't know how they get their info, but like I said, these are all contact finders here, all of them.
Yeah.
And this boomerang is the one that I found recently. I thought was kind of cool for the price. And then what's his name gave me one. I don't remember the name of it. I thought I had it in here. This ATS right here. Look at this. Jarvie. I did a demo on it. It is really, really good. It is really, really good. I can see me switching.
Really?
That's how good it was. Right? You can look what you can do. You can send an invitation, a message, an in-mail, or a WhatsApp, or an email right from it. And then if they show it, you can see all your history. So when you go to the history, like in Loxo, instead of just seeing I made a phone call, it's going to show every channel, email, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, everything you do with it. And they have an AI that watches your emails and makes like, oh, Tom, you're supposed to call Steve tomorrow at 4:00 because Steve sent you an email saying, hey, will you call me at 4:00? And you said yes. So it'll make a reminder for you.
Wow.
I was really impressed with it.
How much are they asking?
It's $150 a month, monthly. If you sign up for the year, it's $120. And you can you have to buy Ring Central. Obviously, that's the one downside. But other than that, you can use there's so much you can do with it. I was really impressed, like super impressed with it, right? And they have a business development section that has its own pipeline and everything that you can customize. A whole business development section that we've been asking Loxo to do, they have. And you can set up your pipelines however you want. You can add, they have open to work options like job. It's basically Jobit and Loxo put together is the best way to describe it.
Wow. So you could conceivably drop Loxo. I mean, drop
Loxo and Jobin.
And it would be cheaper.
Yep. So look at this. You can filter your talent pool by open to work, location, current role, and if you're a LinkedIn connection or not.
Did you ask them how much it would cost to dump all the information in?
They'll do it for free if I sign up for the year. So I don't have time the next 2 weeks, but we're gonna meet on November 1st, and I'm probably gonna get a month free trial to see if I like it. Now, Rosen likes Stardex and Spot better. This is Stardex. They have an AI search thing, and the 119 is the one I tested out. It's really good. Like, it has an AI. It's kind of like Atlas, right? And for the month, it's $149 a good monthly. And they have very similar Loxo style, like stuff. AI agents will compare your job description to the candidates that are in there and give you a ranking of whether or not they're experienced. They have automated follow-ups,
Wow.
but I don't think you can do the LinkedIn connection request yet. And then they have a CRM for managing your clients. You can track all your activities, right? And then the other one was Spot.
So he dropped out. He had Loxo. He got
No,
twisted
he
with-
has Crelate still. He hasn't.
He had Loxo very first, and then they done him wrong.
Yeah.
And
How
then he
we
went to
compare.
Crelate.
How we compare. Right? And then the platform for Spot. Oh, come on. You use natural language, right? And it brings up the people. It tells you how they fit your job description. Look, this looks like Loxo, doesn't it? Notification, notes, calendar, co-pilot, automations, analytics, assignments, candidates, clients, tools, candidate reports, job descriptions, CV formatter, right? All this is here in Spot, right? And you can send them an email, send an email, send a WhatsApp message, right? And then they, hi, Steve, reference past conversation, right? And hiring for a role, right? All these Boolean things that Loxo doesn't have. And then it'll show you his record details, very similar to Loxo. And then the communications you had on LinkedIn, it syncs LinkedIn with you, right? So you right inside the candidate, Ethan is the name of the guy. You can see the LinkedIn stuff that you had with them or the emails that you had with them.
Wow.
And then the interviews, right? So you can right inside the platform, they have video conferencing, and it'll record everything, all the notes, right? And it'll put together a little thing about the interview, what it was, and then interviews to be scheduled. You know, awaited feedback, due yesterday, all these little things you can do. Here's their applied, long list, short list, outreach,
Very
screening,
similar.
just like Loxo. See that?
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good.
You know, so this one wasn't bad at all, and this pricing was good too. What is the pricing on this one? $139 a month, billed annually for free migration to current ATS.
Doesn't it seem?
I mean, this one wasn't bad either. Like all three of them are good. I was just super impressed with the other one. And my notes on it. Where's Cluey?
Does it seem, Tom, that there's been a lot more ATSs spring up since AI has sort of entered?
Oh yeah, these are all like 2 years old too. So here's the
Yeah.
demo I did with Jarvie, and full two-way sync with Outlook, Google Calendars, and email. All interactions, reminders, and activities logged per profile. You can view and switch between LinkedIn and resume data per candidate. $160, $150 a month, annual discount available. Open API for Zapier, custom triggers. They have all the triggers that Loxo has. You know, when I call someone, it moves it. It has all that and more. You can make your own triggers. And it uses Claude as their AI. It does the LinkedIn limits, throttles connection requests, and messages like that to avoid the bans, just like Jobin does.
Are we still being recorded?
No.
Okay. I guess
And
the question
then-
I'd ask.
Actually,
you-
we're live. Let me go off the live thing. Hold on. I probably should do that. Hold on. So manage streaming. Sorry about that. Hey, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. We went a little over at 6:30. Steve needs to go to secret double probation, but don't forget, we have our every Friday at 12:30 p.m. We do our roundtable, the Recruiter Roundtable. You can find us at recruiterroundtable.com, at YouTube at the Recruiter Roundtable. And we do our Loxo third Thursday, which I think is next Thursday, right? Loxo third Thursday, and then our sister show with Dominic Miani. I allow you to search every Thursday at noon, his Business Developer Roundtable. Until then, we will see you next time. Don't forget to smile and dial. Okay, we're out. So, what were you going to